Hello my spooky children, it's me Ghost Girl and I'm here with you guys for another video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about my 4th time to London. So this will be my 4th time that I've been to London since making this channel, but I've been a lot more than that because I've got family down there and I visit them quite a lot. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about kind of why I went. I've always wanted to move to London since I was a teenager, and after everything that kind of happened to me, I just wanted a fresh start somewhere else, but somewhere that I wasn't too unfamiliar with, because it's quite hard settling down on your own, especially for the first time. So I applied for a flight attendant job in London, which was basically my dream job. So now you're all wondering, the question is, how did the job interview go? It went absolutely terrible. I got so nervous during the interview, and then I ended up letting my nerves get the best of me, and now you're wondering, oh, but surely you got the job. No, I didn't get the job. Did I fuck? So I feel like that whole interview, it lasted the whole day, was just a waste of time. And then part of me is like, oh, you travelled all the way to London for nothing. But the trip wasn't for nothing. Even though I didn't get the job, I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to keep trying because I'm adamant to get down there. I was staying with family when I was there. I was staying at my auntie's house. So what I did when I was there was I had to go down on the Friday. I was meant to go down on Tuesday, but the train were on strike for 2 days, and that meant going on the 14th, and my cousin's birthday was on the 13th, and I didn't want to miss her birthday, so I ended up going a day early. But I'm not really bothered because I originally planned to go on the 11th anyway, but I couldn't find a train that was cheap enough. I ended up getting like the cheap train on the 12th, and then because they went on strike, I ended up going on the 11th instead, and I was kind of laughing about that because things ended up going to plan. So then I went down on the 11th, and the train to London takes hours from Scotland, and I didn't get there until about 8:30 at night because it was quite disturbing. A man got hit by a train down in London, so there was like loads of delays and things, and yeah, horrible. Ended up really delayed, and when I eventually got into London, all the underground trains had severe delays, and I ended up not getting to my auntie's till quite late, and she asked what happened, and then I kind of explained to her, and then my cousin was like, yeah, the trains will be delayed all day. She was like, they probably won't be able to catch up until tomorrow now. And I'm like, that's usual. So that was on my first day. On my second day, I went to London Dungeons, and I did a bit of shopping. I got myself this cup. Hang on, I'll show you guys the cup. So here's the cup that I got from London Dungeons. I'll show you guys the lid. It's got a skull and a straw, and it's got like, it's not ice, but it looks kind of like ice or smashed glass or something. That's like jelly or something. And apparently you can freeze this, so that's kind of cool. It cost me £8 for the. Hang on, I'm going to put a light on. It's gotten really dark. Oh, suddenly. Normally, if this was a normal video, I'd be editing all this out, but nah, it's a live video, so you're all going to see the amount of carry on and kerfuffle that happened. So yeah, it was £8 for the cup, which is not bad for a kind of fancy cup like that. So yeah, I went to the dungeons, and then I did a bit of shopping after, and I got this white a play suit. It's a jumpsuit but shorts. I'll find the jumpsuit. So, don't even know. Oh, there we go. There, this is the jumpsuit. So I got this jumpsuit out of Primark in London and Oxford Street. I don't really like the Oxford Street Primark. It's a bit of a nightmare. It's always really busy, tons of queues. You're in there for over an hour sometimes, and yeah, it's just the staff are not very nice, and going on a Sunday is a nightmare because the shop doesn't open till I live in, and then the tills don't open till 12. So it's just a nightmare on a Sunday. The Oxford Street one isn't actually the closest one to where my auntie lives. The closest one to her is in Westfield in Shepherd's Bush. I just went to that one because I was near Oxford Street at the time, because the Dungeons is quite near like Oxford Street. Yeah, like Primark's not as nice as the one in Westfield. The one in Westfield's a lot nicer. Oxford Street has gotten a little better since I went there. When I went there a couple of years ago, a lot of the shops had shutting down and weren't there anymore, and there was a lot of like souvenir shops and stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's still a little like that, but there's like more stuff kind of opened up now. There's a bit more shops. But Oxford Street used to be amazing, like some of the shops in it and that, but it's not as amazing as what it was. I would say Westfield is better for shopping. Apparently there's two, my friend told me, but I'm only aware of the one in Shepherd's Bush. I don't know where the other one is, but the one in Shepherd's Bush is the one that's got Sephora in it. I remember last time I went to Westfield, I got the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and that's the concealer that I've been using in all my videos. So there's a fly and it keeps coming to me and it keeps annoying me and it just won't leave me alone. Go away, fly. Yeah, so that's big massive shopping centre. There's two of them, and it's got restaurants and mini golf and all that, but I'll get into that a bit later, because I did go to Westfield again, but not for shopping, because there's other entertainment stuff there. So after I went to shopping, I went back to my auntie's. Then we had then she had a dinner and she cooked so much food, like so much food. And my auntie and my cousins and all that, they eat like that every day almost. And it's just like, wow. I don't know how you can eat so much food. But anyway, so that was the Friday. Then on the Saturday, we were celebrating my cousin's birthday. So for our birthday, this is when we went to Westfield, and we went to the Putt Shack in Westfield and played mini golf. Then after that, we went somewhere to eat and we had loads of alcohol, and I was actually drunk when I was getting my dinner because we drank that much. And plus the drinks in Putt Shack are really strong. Like, that's what I noticed in London. Like, they really like their alcohol. Like, everywhere you go, the drinks are really strong. Whereas in Scotland, the drinks are really weak because the bars in Scotland and stuff are really stingy with their alcohol. Also, the drinks are more expensive over there, so that's maybe why they put more alcohol in them. But wow, the drinks, everywhere you go, the drinks are really strong compared to what they are in Scotland. Yes, I was actually drunk when I had my dinner, and I ended up having lots of water because I was really thirsty, and I was actually so bad. The food took that long to cook, and by the time I'd ate my dinner and drank all the water, I'd actually sobered up. And I wanted to go to a nightclub, but none of them wanted to go. We ended up going back to the flat and having a house party in the flat, and it was quite mental. My cousins are so funny. We ended up playing like a drinking game, and we had to like act stuff out in that. It was quite funny. I never went to my bed till about 5 a.m. That night, and I've never. That's so. When I'm at a house party, I don't normally stay that long. I usually stay till about 3 a.m. So I was really enjoying myself. Like, house parties in London are quite totally different to ones in Scotland. I feel like house parties in Scotland are quite rubbish. You go in a room, you sit and drink, you talk, and then there'll maybe be the occasional people that smoke weed or whatever, but no one dances, or sometimes they don't, or plays music or anything like that. Like, they're quite dire. I've been to a few house parties in Scotland, and I don't really like going to them. I'd rather go to a bar or a pub, or actually go out properly, because I get bored at house parties in Scotland. In London, it's better because people play music, they dance, they play games, and there's lots of party snacks and stuff. And people actually speak to you at these parties and have proper conversations. Half the time you're in these house parties in Scotland and people don't speak to you, it's quite. You do feel quite uncomfortable sometimes at these parties. So I do feel like people are better hosts in house parties in London, and they're a bit more accommodating. Whereas in Scotland, it's just kind of drink, don't really talk much. I don't know, I feel like people where I live just don't know how to socialise very well, and they're not very good at communicating with people, whereas in London, people seem to be better in social situations. So I did feel a lot more comfortable at that party than what I did at any other house party I've been to. So after the party, I went about 5. I went to bed. I think my cousin and her 2 friends that were up the whole night. Then on the Sunday, my Uncle Derek and my cousin Billy came round for dinner, and the house was wrecked. So when we got up, we had to clean the house. I ended up going to the shop and getting what I call my hangover kit. So I've got like a hangover kit, and my hangover kit is Pepsi Max, bacon and either Kinder chocolate, Milky Way chocolate, or Milky Bar chocolate. That's my hangover kit. So I ended up going to the shop and getting my hangover kit. And I felt a lot better after the bacon, the Pepsi Max, and the Kinder chocolate. It always makes me feel better after a drink. Jacob's cream crackers are meant to be good as well, but with this kind of diet that I'm on, cause I'm having to diet again because I've put weight on, I can't eat Jacob's cream crackers. That's a no-no. So didn't get any. So after the hangover kit and cleaning the house and stuff, my Uncle Derek came round for dinner and we basically had a big feast, and my cousin had a big massive cake. Like, this was a big massive cake, and we cut the cake for everyone. The pieces she cut were massive. I ended up cutting my bit that she gave me into 3, and I ended up giving 2 bits to my mates, and in fact, I ended up cutting that bit in half. So it was like I had 1/3 of the cake and then I cut it in half, so it was like 1/6. And then I think I ate one day and then one another day because it was just too big. So that was the Sunday. Then on the Monday, I went to see my mate that stays in London. We went to the British Museum, and I'll maybe post some pictures of the British Museum. The British Museum, it seems to be like, if I was to say like ancient Mediterranean / Middle Eastern / kind of North African based. So it's got stuff from ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, Mexico, America, and it's got stuff from like the Middle East and Africa. So and I think they had ancient Asia as well, but that was like a temporary exhibition. So they had like a lot of stuff from like ancient times, because that museum seems to focus on more ancient foreign history. So we went to the museum. Oh crap, my battery's running low. Oh, here we go, the fight for the charger. I'll come up with that now. Oh, there we go. Oh, here we go. Just carry on till I get it to. Let's hope the battery doesn't clock out before I get it in. Come on. Right, that's it charging now. Yeah, so I went to the British Museum, then Gary knows that I'm obviously looking to move to London, and I was speaking to him about jobs and flats and stuff. So he showed me his flat and how much it was to rent a room, and the man was wanting £800 a month to stay in a single room. And I was thinking to myself, no way, I can't afford to pay that for a room. There's rooms in Croydon that are half that amount a month. I'm pretty sure there's some places in London where you can get a studio flat for that. So £800 a month is just no. Even if I was to get that job, I would not be able to afford that. So after looking at that flat, we then went to get something to eat. We ended up getting Pili Pili chicken out of this Pili chicken place. In London, they've got a lot of chicken shops that do Pili Pili. So we ended up going to one of them. And after that, I went home. And then the next day, which was the Tuesday, I had that job interview, and oh gosh, that was a disaster. So I had to get from North Acton to Luton Airport, and as you can imagine, that the journey took me forever to get there. I ended up getting there a bit early though, so I went into McDonald's in the Luton. I can't remember what it was called. It was a retail park in Luton, and there was a McDonald's there, and had a few drinks. Ended up meeting a couple of lasses that were going to the interview, and then went for the interview. Then they were nice enough to give me a lift. Although one of the lasses that we went with ended up felt too nervous and ended up not going. So what happened was I had to register myself in, and then I watched a presentation on a laptop, and then after that we all got called into a room and we got put in teams, and we were given a problem solving activity. We had to decide if any celebrity was to work for Wizard, what celebrity would it be and why. So then we all kind of had a discussion, and then we all kind of had to present it, and we all kind of said, we believe this celebrity would be better and why. And basically we all kind of had to speak, and I noticed the ones that didn't speak never made it through to the second round. So then after that we were all being interviewed one by one, and I think this is where I fucked up, because I was second to last, and by that point I was so nervous that when they were answering me questions, I just couldn't answer them properly, and I kept freezing and forgetting what to say, and then my mind kept going blank. And after my interview, I left, and then when I was getting the train back, I got an email to say that I'd basically fucked up the interview. So that was very disappointing. I felt like I just wasted my day because I spent the whole day there. I do have another interview with a Jet2, but I don't know when that'll be, because I've had to reschedule twice, because the first interview option they gave me was when I had an Emirates interview, and then the second time was when I had the Wizard thing, and I wasn't able to reschedule with either Emirates or Wizard, so I was having to reschedule with Jet2, and I'm just like, are they even going to offer me an interview now because of that? it's just my mind's kind of playing overtime, and I'm just worried that because I really want this, and I'm worried that I'm not going to get it. And it's also travelling down to London again for another interview. I don't even know if I can afford to do that right now. But yeah, it's just a lot of things are really stressful. I just want to get over there now because most of my family is over there, and all my friends are over there, and the family that I've got here are not very supportive. When I was over there, I had an auntie that's in Scotland that was trying to cause drama with my other auntie that I was staying with, and then last time I went to London, I mentioned in my video that I'd met a guy, and well, he never bothered to stay in contact, but he was staying in contact with my mate, and then he was telling my mate lies about me and saying that I'd done and said these things that I hadn't. Luckily, I was able to clear it up with him, my mate, but my mate is still wanting to meet this guy. And I went, what you want to meet him for? He's like, oh, just as a friend. But I'm like, but he lied to you about everything and like tried to split us up. Like, we thought he was our friend and he isn't. I just think he's extremely narcissistic. And the guy's just like, oh, and my mate's just like, oh, I might not meet him now. And I was like, well, I really don't think you should. I don't think that would be wise, because the guy that he's wanting to meet is bisexual, and he was saying stuff like, I want you to give me a pedicure and that. And I'm like to my mate, you've got a boyfriend, so don't even bother with that. He's like, oh, we're just going to meet his friends. I was like, clearly he's wanting you to be a bit more than friends if he's wanting like a foot massage. He's like, no, it's not a foot massage. He means an actual pedicure. I'm like, that, an actual pedicure. I was like, oh, that's gross. Like, so he's wanting you to trim his toenails basically and take all the hard skin off his feet with a cheese grater, because that's what they do during pedicures. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. I went, I hope no, that's gross. I think to myself, who the fuck does he think he is? Try to get him to give him a pedicure. Does he think he's a fucking his servant or something? Want to give him a pedicure? Like, that's just gross. I said, that's just way order. And I said to my mate, please don't meet him. He's sounds like a total weirdo. I don't think he's got the best intentions, and you've got a boyfriend anyway, and I know you see him as a mate, but I don't think that's how he sees you. And I said, anyway, real friends don't lie to friends about that. Like, he's not a friend. Like, he's not a real friend. That's not how real friends behave. Yeah, it's just been like a total drama. And he says he's not going to go, but he has a habit of saying things and then not always doing what he says. And my mate has a habit of getting himself into very silly situations. Like, he's got absolutely no common sense. I mean, he's my best mate now, and, well, my best London mate, and I love him, but he's a silly boy. He's always gotten himself into silly situations. And I'm just like, how? How did you manage that? Like, how did you manage to get yourself in such a silly situation? Like, Jizo. So as much as I enjoyed my trip, I do feel like I'm dealing with like inter city dramas, and it's just a nightmare because I'm not in London to deal with all this. The good thing is the cycle guy that lied to us is in Thailand at the moment, and he's not coming back till September. So I'm hoping by then my mate is just like forgets or is not interested or decides that he's not going to meet him. Hopefully I'll be in London by September. I'm kind of hoping that I'm not in Scotland much longer because I really hate it here, and I'm not happy here at all. And it's always been a dream of mine since I was a teenager to move and live to London. I've always wanted to live there, but I just couldn't because I was studying and I wanted to go to uni and get my degree, and also COVID and stuff. Like, ain't no one going nowhere because of COVID. So fly, go away. So yeah, this is like the only like time I've been able to do it. So I'm just like, oh, just do it, cause like with everything that happened with my last job and my friend drama and all that, I just feel like it's time for it to go somewhere else. And also my dream was to work in aviation. I only took that job because there was no jobs in aviation at the time. And so I ended up taking that job. And to be honest, I only was there until my plan originally was to stay at that job until kind of something else better came along. I was planning to stay there a bit longer, but the job was so bad, and then all that stuff happened when I was working there, and I was just like, no, I can't stay here anymore. So then I kind of had to leave for the sake of my mental health. I had to put my mental health first, and it's a shame because we live in a society where people focus more on money and career than their mental health. And in life, you really need to put your mental health first. Unfortunately, capitalism means that we have to work and put work first. And that's the thing with capitalism. They're just, as workers, we're just seen as machines to like do the work to like run society. And because we live in a capitalist society, it's just like, oh, you guys shouldn't put your work first. You need to put, your mental health first. You need to work, and keep the government and the economy going. Basically, that's how the society and the way people think is based on that. Like, a lot of people don't realise that the people in charge actually have a lot of influence over how people think and feel, and why people think and feel, and how society feels towards certain things. The governments and the people in charge have had a lot of influence on that, and I don't think people realise that. Yeah, that's just unfortunately the society that we live in. Yeah, it's shit. Oh, I had to buy new shoes. So I'm doing a live video today. I was going to do a normal video and film and edit and stuff, but I had that much to do today. Like, I literally just got back from London yesterday, and I came home on the last day. Train took forever, and I had to unpack everything. And by the time I got everything unpacked, it was like 10 at night. So I just went to bed. And today I had to buy like a lot of stuff. So I was really busy today. I had to buy new shoes because Bailey had sat and chewed on my shoes. Chewbacca, I'm going to call him. Chewy boy, sitting chewing on my shoes. I think to myself, you never chew anything. Like, you haven't chewed anything since you were a puppy. I thought you'd like grown out of that now. Like, seriously, Chewbacca. But I'm having to get. I bought one pair, but I'm really needing two because he's chewed 2 pairs of my shoes. So I'll probably get my other pair of shoes tomorrow. I had to get stuff for hay fever because I've noticed since I got back to Scotland, my hay fever is getting really bad again. When I was in London, my hay fever was nowhere near as bad as what it has been. Like, my sinuses the past couple of weeks were terrible. But then I went to London and for some reason my sinuses had like cleared up a lot. But now that I'm back here, they're back to being really bad. So I had to get like a bunch of sinus stuff to like help me so that I can actually breathe. What else did I get? I had to get toiletries for my mum as well because my mum's working from home, so she can't really get out as much. So I was having to get her toiletries. I was meant to get her a notepad, but the town was closing, so I never got round to getting her one. But I'll probably get myself shoes and her a notepad tomorrow. And to order stuff online as well, because some of the stuff I won't be able to get in the town because the town centre in the town I live has got like 3 shops. It used to be a lot more than that, but a lot of shops shut down during COVID. And unlike Oxford Street, none of them got replaced. So the town is dire at the moment. A lot of kind of corner shops have started to appear in the town. A lot of coffee shops, and the Scottish themed shops, like touristy shops. I mean, there's still Primark. Primark's kind of like the number one shop in Britain, I think now. But as long as Primark stays there, I think we'll be okay. But if Primark was to go, that would be it. Like, the town would be fucked without Primark. Literally fucked. It's a big Primark as well. There used to be a Debenhams in the town. That was a big, massive shop. But that's gone. I got told that was meant to be like a big entertainment complex. We got told that in 2020. Then now that Debenhams are shut down, there was going to be a big entertainment complex getting put in there. That was 3 years ago. There's still no sign of this big entertainment thing. I don't know what they're going to do with that unit because it's so massive that there's no way any shops would take that over. Like, that's the thing with department stores. Like, the units that they had were so massive that no other shop would be willing to buy units that big. It was the same with British Home Stores. That was a department store. British Home Stores was a really good department store. It was better than Debenhams. That was really good for like Christmas presents and stuff. But I don't know, maybe department stores are becoming a thing of the past. John Lewis, that's actually still surviving. I heard that it had shut down, but they've seemed to have been able to open their shops back up again. I think John Lewis and Fraser's are like the only two kind of department shops left. There used to be a big, massive Jenner's in Edinburgh, but that shut down as well. I loved going at Jenner's at Christmas time and seeing the Christmas tree getting turned on. There used to be kids and opera singers, and then it would be a wee boy would press a button, and then the tree would come on, and all the wreaths would light up. It wasn't as good as the actual Edinburgh Christmas light switch on, but it was still quite a good thing to go and see after, because like after you'd been like on all the rides and did all the market and stuff, there's always be like and after you'd had like your lunch and dinner and stuff, there's always be like a wee gap between that and the light switch on. So we'd go to Jenner's and watch their tree getting switched on. It's quite nice. But yeah, that's not there anymore. Yeah, Scotland's going really downhill. Don't get me wrong. They have opened a new shopping centre in Edinburgh, but I just feel like things aren't progressing quick enough. It's like things are shutting down and closing down and new things are opening, but it's like the new things that are coming aren't coming quick enough to cover the losses of the things that are closing down, especially in Stirling. Like, I just think it's getting worse in the town where I live in. It's getting worse. Like, you go into the supermarkets and there's like no food and stuff. And it's like, wow, this place is really getting bad. It's quite the town that I live in, it's quite a hard place to live in. It's quite tough. You don't really live there. You just kind of survive and get through life every day. I've certainly felt like that for a while. And plus, there isn't many job opportunities at all where I live. The only job opportunities that are really there is care work, which I was doing before. I would never do that again. And call centre jobs. That's all that there really is, because it's not like I can get a job in retail because there's no shops anymore. So that's all there is really. So I think it's best that I go to London because there's a lot more job opportunities. Where I live, there are just not enough opportunities. And I know housing in London's quite expensive, but it's like I couldn't afford a house where I live anyway. So it's just like I need to do something because I just feel like there's not much here for me anymore. Don't get me wrong, my mum's here and the dog's here, and I'll probably miss them, but I need to go out and do something because I'm looking for jobs and I'm trying, but I just feel like I'm not getting anywhere. Like at least, and I'd maybe stand a better chance in London of finding work. Because where I live in Scotland, try to find work, it's just too hard. Because there's not many jobs, and because of going about and because of that, everyone is going for like the same job. So like, what chance do you have? And I know in London there'll be thousands of people applying for that job, but at least I know that there's going to be other jobs. Where in Stirling, not so much. It's like that job and only that job, and if you don't get it, that's it. There won't be other ones. So it's just going on. It's just a nightmare. Part of me is just like, feels like that I'm going to be stuck in this situation forever. And that I'm never going to find a job, never going to get a flat in London. It's just so hard. Life isn't easy at the moment, especially with like inflation and everything. Like, God, it's a nightmare. I hate inflation. And then people and companies are not paying their staff and money for like matching the inflation. So it's like people are struggling. Like the job I was in before, the money was actually quite poor, and I was working all these hours and still not making much money. So it was just like, yeah, I wouldn't do that kind of job again, and certainly not with that company, because like they don't pay you enough and they just treat you like rubbish. But yeah, for all those that are maybe watching this and are a little bit confused about my situation, like, don't worry about it. I don't blame you. I'm going to be making a video in about July, kind of explaining in a bit more detail about what happened and why I'm in the situation that I'm in. There's some stuff that I can't talk about just yet, It'll be a while before I can talk about it, just because my mind's so traumatised by some of this stuff that happened, and I don't feel safe talking about some of this stuff that happened, even though I'm aware that I can't be contacted by these people anymore. I just don't feel safe talking about it just because of the way that I've been treated by them. And for all I know, they could be like spying on my social media. I mean, I have a feeling there is at least one person that's involved in this stuff they're definitely spying on my social media and watching all my YouTube videos and stuff, because they're a complete psycho, and that's just something that they do. I just... Who knew that one night out, one house party could lead you to completely destroy your life? But it's my own fault for not listening to my intuition. But then at the same time, I feel like maybe I kind of needed all this to happen in order to kind of get a push to maybe get my life sorted out, because I wasn't happy before, and I haven't been happy in a long time. When I'm in London, that's when I'm my most happiest. So I really want to live there, even although at this rate it's not looking very great. But I suppose there's other airlines and other jobs, so I'm just gonna keep trying. I'm not gonna give up, because I can't give up. Can't give up now after all the effort that I've put in. But for all you that are confused and don't know what's going on, I recommend watching some of my previous videos. I did have a live video that was explaining everything in a bit more detail, but I ended up having to delete it, and that I will explain to you guys one day why and when I'm ready, but I'm not quite ready right now to get into all that. It's just been really hard. I was still dealing with some of these people until quite recently, actually. And by quite recently, I mean like 2 weeks ago. So it's still quite fresh. And I was thinking to myself, I thought all that I was like over, and because I hadn't heard anything about it for months, and then they just come in and making a move on me. And I do feel like it's just been out of spite, because they couldn't get me for the original thing that they tried to get me for. But I didn't do anything wrong, just to let you guys know. All I did was voice my opinion and let people know that how I'd been harmed by these individuals, and they basically came for me and tried to come for me, and it didn't quite work in their favour. So then they tried to do something else, and that didn't work either. And they've been told by the local council not to contact me anymore. I will, the authorities not to contact me anymore, and so I shouldn't hear from them again. If I do, then I need to go back to the authorities and be like that. They contacted me again, and there'll be a whole legal thing. So hoping that they don't contact me if they've got any sense. They won't. But yeah, my life's just a shambles at the moment. Although one good thing happened that I'm not going to talk about now because I'm afraid I'll jinx it. That's made me quite happy the last couple of days, and has forward motivated me to get down to London. I'm not going to speak about it now because hashtag no jinxies, but one day I will tell you guys and you'll be happy for me. If it lasts, that's all I'm saying. I don't even know what's going to happen. But anyway, that is everything for me today, my spooky children. I hope you have enjoyed this video today, and goodbye.